Hi, welcome to Aren't You Crazy, the podcast that flips the script on the struggling artist paradigm.
We are your hosts, Tessie
And Erin Elizabeth Reed.
I'll be there for you.
When the rain starts to fall,
I'll be there for you. Well, you probably guessed it. What is our topic today, Erin?
it's all about friends and friendship.
Friendship. Not the TV series, just friendship and friends in general.
Just friends in general, because yesterday was International Day of Friendship. Aww.
No kidding. It was Friendship Day?
Yes, an International Friendship Day at that. Yes, we are friends.
We are friends.
We are international friends, in fact.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Along with Mel and with Rune.
It's true. Oh my God. We would talk about, I don't know, creative ways you find you might make or keep friendships as we grow into our adulthood.
Yeah.
Did I get that right?
Yeah, it gets, I feel like that's not something that I have only said myself, but I've heard a lot of the times that it gets really tough to make friends as you get older. And once you the times that you make them, it's hard to keep them because of how life goes. And, you know, sometimes you find yourself changing countries or changing cities or jobs or time schedules or whatever. And it's hard to keep up, especially for us that we live in New York City, the city that literally never sleeps. We never sleep.
Cricket.
Crickets, 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 crickets. No, really, it moves so fast that sometimes it's hard to find the time to be with your friends constantly on a regular basis.
Yeah, that's true. I'm really curious, though. I mean, it seems like it might not be true, but it feels like common sense that as we age, we put more of our attention on relationships, like our significant other, if we have one, romantic partners and that, and family, and potentially work, I suppose, like especially if we're doing a 9-to-5. But I'm curious why friendships become harder to make or hang on to.
If we put conditions on our friendships, if I don't see you every week, then you're not my friend. If you don't align with the same topics or themes that I like, you're not my friend. And it's just examples. Huh? It's not. I'm not saying that it's something that I connect with. It gets a little harder to maintain the relationships as we evolve in our road of life, because those things might change, because life is all the time changing. Yeah. So they become at some point unrealistic. So once again, we talked about being flexible, right? Being flexible with your ideas, being flexible with how you collaborate with people. You have to be flexible too with your friends. It's not because your friends go on a trip or even change cities that they stop being your friends. And that's something that I understood while having friendships that were very strong. And then I had to move to another country. So like all my friends in France, I haven't seen them in 3-4 years. But when I talk to them on the phone or I talk to them via Facebook or whatever, I know that they're still my friends. And that if I go to France tomorrow, they will offer me their house to stay. And it will be like we never stopped seeing each other. Those are kind of friendships that I personally like to foster, where you're allowed to grow and you're allowed to evolve and you're allowed to have a life or be apart and come back and still be received with the arms wide open.
Wow.
And not conditioned or limited by the idea or the concept of friendship that we might get from wherever we are getting.
It sounds like the difference between finding and fostering deeper relationships with people than circumstantial friendships. So I might have work colleagues who are friends, but if I just met them on the street. Like if I met them in another context, we wouldn't really have anything in common, and therefore like we wouldn't really be close friends.
There is this romanticized idea in general about relationships, about love or friendships. There is this idea of that one person needs to fulfill all the gaps.
Whoa. Whoa. Yes, continue. I have thoughts.
Of like that person needs to be my best friend, my caregiver, my financial advisor, my partner, my Indiana Jones, my this, my that, my expert in literature, my expert in science, my expert in cameras, whatever, and it's not true. We have different friends for different things. We identify ourselves with friends in different levels. There are friends that cover all the levels and they're almost like soulmates in a way. But the pressure shouldn't be so. It's a lot of pressure for a person to stand up for.
It's a lot of pressure. It's to put on one particular person, especially like in the context of a romantic partner. Yes, I think if your romantic partner is not a friend as well, then that's a problem. At least it is in my book, the way I operate. Maybe that works for some people. I don't know. Maybe you can live with a spouse or a partner, a mate, and not be friends. That seems like a very unhappy life.
Yeah, but they don't have to be your overall best friend.
Yeah, I digress. The point is, like, asking one person to fulfill every relationship role in your life at all times and be the number one person in all of those areas is unfair, it's unrealistic, it's unhealthy. Fill your cup with other people. I forget who said it originally, but the idea that we are, at any given stage of our life, a result or a conglomeration of the 5 closest people we spend the most time with. Mm-hmm. And it's always been said as a cautionary tale, like to really look at your closest relationships. Who are you around the most? And evaluate them personally. Are you helping each other grow mutually? Do you share enough of the same values and goals that you benefit each other and see each other rise? Or are the people that you're spending the most time with keeping you static or holding you back from achieving the next level of
your sproutdom?
Yeah, your sproutdom.
I feel like there should be a lot of communication in friendships.
Yeah, in any relationship.
In every relationship. And we think that we communicate sometimes, but we really don't.
Uh-huh.
So, happy Friends Day.
For the friends that you do hold dear at this current stage in your life, how do you find ways to stay connected and communicate with them? Like, is there any way that you've found yourself stretching or growing, changing, experimenting with the ways to keep those people close?
Maybe giving them space has been a very big element as well. Like not trying to hold them all the time because I do have that flaw of feeling abandonment. That's a very, very thick wound that I'm working on constantly. And it's okay, it's part of who I am and I'm working on it. But sometimes I feel like I hold on to people too hard because I'm afraid that I'm going to lose them. And the big learning curve for me is to let it go and say, they are with me. They're part of my life because they want to be in my life, not because I'm making them be in my life, So just like opening up a little and say, just come and go as you please. Like we're okay. We're okay. So I feel like that has been the most creative understanding of friendships so far I've got with what I have in my flawed heart. And a little vulnerable moment there. Sorry.
No, don't apologize. It's beautiful.
I love doing artistic stuff like painting together or going to do the nails together, or asking your friend to give you advice on something that you wrote, and knowing that that is also a way where you're present in friendship, where you're present in my life, like giving me feedback for something, or, it doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be conventional. It doesn't have to be always going out for dinner or going out for a drink.
Reaching out, asking how people are, like just keeping those doors of communication open. But for me, one of my things that I'm working on is reaching out and asking for help. That's been part of my own growing process, feeling worthy enough to receive help. And being okay, like understanding that people that love you actually would love to offer their help. Yeah. It's not a burden. It's not going to turn someone away from a friendship, a relationship, to ask for help from them. So that's what I've been working on.
Oh, that's great. Thank you for sharing that. That's super courageous of you to share.
Well, no.
It's not easy to say that sometimes we need help. Yeah. Oof. I feel like it's having the trust and the confidence to know that there's enough space in the person's heart to hold you as a friend and other friends as well, I feel like sometimes I find myself feeling guilty for maybe not saying enough, like, hey, you're my best friend, you're my best friend, and you're my best friend, you're my best friend. And I feel guilty if I say it to someone and I don't say it to another person. But the love in my heart is in equal throbbing measure for different people.
Yeah.
I sometimes fail in expressing it. But that's to say you're important to me and I love you. And you're my best friend.
I love you too, Tessie.
And
so much. Yeah.
And I love being vulnerable with you and doing this with you and with Mel. Ooh, God. Don't drink coffee in summer.
Well, like the heart only physically has 4 chambers. But it's the home we make of it. We can add room after room after room for as many people that we love. And that's how I try to live my life. I'm constantly expanding my home to make a room for treasured people. And they're welcome to not come and stay, but the room is theirs to occupy whenever they want to come back. And know that there will always be, fresh linens on the bed for them and a vase of flowers on the dresser.
Hopefully it's do. It's forever.
Yeah. And then at the end of the day, the end of your life, you can look back and look at the beautiful mansion that you built for yourself. Swimming pools and jacuzzis and nail centers and discos and the beach. And that's how we stay crazy and sane out there, y'all. Go hug your friends.
Tell them how much you love them.
Hey, I'm sure you love this episode. Before you go, here are 3 ways you can help us keep things crazy.
Just leave us a rating or share this episode so more people can access this content. Easy peasy, right?
Feeling ultra crazy?
Donate to the show by clicking the link provided in the podcast description or in our Instagram's bio.
I'm sure you will.
Stay crazy out there, y'all.
Stay crazy!